Hey everyone, it's Brandon Amoroso, and today I'm going to be walking you through the Okendo platform, specifically highlighting all of the new products and features that they've rolled out over the past 6 to 9 months. So, first, like most of the Shopify apps that you work with, you're going to access it via the apps section within Shopify. Click on Okendo, and then we get taken out to the main platform here. So, first, and the tried and true product they started with back when the company launched, reviews. So we've been using the reviews product for over 2 years now at our Shopify Plus agency, Electriq, and every product that they've rolled out thereafter has built upon sort of the zero-party database that they created by aggregating reviews and asking for both customer and product demographics and attributes. So within the portal here, you have reviews. You're able to filter through pending, published, and rejected. You can also set up automations around, automatically publish 4 and 5-star reviews, but maybe you want to moderate and see what the 1 to 3-star reviews say before actually posting them or addressing them. And then you can also look at reviews based on a product standpoint as well to get a high-level overview of which products are performing best or are most satisfactory to customers versus those that are not. Then you have your question stream. So these are any and all questions that come in from customers. You can see this customer asked, how do you clean this brush? And then you can add the answer here, and that'll display publicly on the product page as well. Next, you have a couple of configuration options. So you have your response form. And so this is the actual review capture, what it looks like when a customer is filling that out. You can do things like hide the Okendo branding from that. You can allow social login, custom profile pictures. And here you can see that we can update this so that I could include, the actual logo of the brand. So I'll go ahead and drop that in here. And you can see, Toady, make it a little bit smaller. And then style options, so what's the star color, empty star color, things like that, and what the actual CTA is. So let's go ahead and actually update the CTA to be the same color red as the logo. And then here. And then you can add any post-review modules that you want, whether you want to show shop more products, site review, custom text, refer a friend being a product that they've recently released that I'm going to cover in a moment here, surveys. And so this is one of the value adds that I'm really excited about is being able to, build out and enhance the customer profile in a way that we weren't able to historically when we had to do quizzes out of one platform, reviews out of another platform, and surveys out of another platform. Because now, as soon as a review gets left, I can then ask one of the some of the applicable survey questions, but that survey is not going to ask questions that have already been answered if they were already answered in the review process or if they're already answered in the quiz process. So that customer profile enhancement and data enrichment is much more plausible when everything is in one solution. So go ahead and close that out. But here you can see post-review and post-question modules and how you're able to add those in and enhance them as well. And we'll go ahead and let's update that star color as well too. So then we're going to click Save Changes. And I'll hop back out here. Next, you have your on-site displays. So you are able to set or reset the settings across all your widgets, or you can just update the reviews widgets, the star ratings, the reviews carousel, reviews tab, media grid, media carousel, and then also your reviews badge. But what I want to dive into most is attributes. So we can go ahead and create attributes that are specific to individual SKUs. And this would be applicable, for example, if you were, a wine company, and the attribute, maybe one of the attributes for a product would be, what type of wine is this? Is it sweet, medium dry, or dry? Or other things that could potentially be asked is, is there fruity nose, or is there, more of a charcoal nose? And you can, continue to build out the questions there. And then when a customer comes to leave a review, they can fill those out so that other customers can see what the product attributes are like. So here I have product attributes for this CC cream, and we're able to create questions that are either multi-value, single value, a range, or a centered range. But there's also a whole host of pre-provided questions that the Okendo team has put together. And so we can leverage, let's say, long-lasting. We'll go ahead and add that, and then customers can answer on a scale of 1 to 5. Maybe we want to ask, let's do a range, and then say, how well does this product protect you from the sun? And you could just say low, high, or something like that. And we could also do, single value. How long does this protect you from the sun? Option 1 could be, under 30 minutes. Then you could say, 30 to 60 minutes. And then you could add an option like, 60 plus minutes. Save that. And then if I click save, anytime a customer purchases this product and is asked to review it, they are going to get these questions that will be associated to that particular product. And then you, beyond product attributes, you can do profile attributes as well, which I'm going to get in a bit. But fundamentally, the concept is the same. The product attributes are associated to the product themselves, and then the profile attributes are associated to the reviewer themselves. Next in reviews is rewards. So this is where you're able to actually, offer rewards to your customers for reviewing the product. So you can do that in the form of a coupon, or you can do that in the form of a loyalty integration. So Okendo integrates, and I'll pull it up here in the general settings. Okendo integrates with Loyalty Lion, Smile, Rise AI, and Eber as well, or Eber. And so you can choose to do discount codes, or you can choose to have it be a part of your loyalty program as well. And then the last thing is groups. So product groups are very important, especially when you have, very similar SKUs or similar variants. And so I can create a group here. And what this allows you to do is, let's say you have, a host of SKUs, and maybe you're launching a new one, but you want to be able to leverage all the reviews from the previous version. You can group that together. And so then reviews would show up on both of the product pages. So that way you're not starting from scratch again. So that can be very helpful. And then the last thing is a solution called 460, which allows you to have shoppable Instagram and UGC curation. So you can start a account or free trial with that company. But basically, it's a shoppable Instagram platform that Okendo has partnered with to be able to provide that functionality for you. So you can have the curated content alongside your existing Okendo content in your media widgets and carousels. So we covered reviews. Now let's touch on the actual profiles themselves. So each of your customers will have their own profile that will continue to get fleshed out with their profile data, especially if you're adding in custom properties from quizzes, surveys, or reviews. But most importantly, are profile questions. So this is the same concept as the product attributes, but instead these are profile questions. And so things that you'd want to potentially ask here, and I'll use the skincare brand as an example. What type of skin do you have? And we can actually put on the drop down here. Like, what are your skin concerns? Acne, aging, pigmentation, redness, sensitivity, scarring, blackheads. There's a bunch of options here. So I go ahead and save this. And then in the review process, or the survey process, or in the quiz, you can leverage this question. And then it'll populate on site. So when customers are filtering through their reviews, they're able to then see those who are like them. So like if I'm on a skincare website, I want to look at other people who have similar skin concerns to my own, not people who are worried about pigmentation or something, as an example. And you can see this on the True Classic website, where in the bottom of the product page on the jeans, you have both product attributes and also customer attributes shown. So this person weighs in between 200 and 225 pounds. Their usual size is the large. The size they purchased was the large, and their height is in between 5'10" and 6'1". And so you can allow for customers to actually filter by that. So if they only want to see, people who are in the 250 to 275 pound range, they could filter all the reviews just for that. So this allows people to be able to see whether or not the product could potentially be a good fit for them, but also increases conversion rate while also reducing the return rate as well. Because if I'm 6 foot, 175 pounds, and I see somebody else who is also the same, and it worked for them, then most likely it's going to work for me as well. So next is mail. And more often than not, we're leveraging, like the Klaviyo integration or Attentive integration to actually be able to send out the review requests. But you're able to do that via Okendo as well, just natively from within their own platform. And you set the rules and requirements around what the waiting time is. You can wait till after fulfillment or after delivery. If you do fulfillment, you want to make sure you set the time frame so that the review request is not going out before the customer gets the product. That is obviously not a great experience. And then you choose the email that goes out as well. But we can go back here and create a new sequence, and there's a host of sequences that you can actually create within the platform. You can do a single review request. You can do a review request with a reminder, a review request with 2 reminders, or a review request with a photo reminder. And then you can see here there's various integrations that you can leverage, whether it's Klaviyo, OmniSend, PostScript, or Attentive, to be able to actually send out that review request. And you're able to see, who's in the queue. Here. And then also what the send history is. So this will show you everybody that has been sent it. Which obviously if you use something like Klaviyo, you just see that information from within there. Next are all of your mail templates. So this is where you actually can configure the way that they look and feel when being sent to a customer. And you have all of your sequence emails, like your review request and your ad media, but you also have other emails that you're able to modify, such as a review reply, referral invitations, referral rejections, survey coupon reward, quiz coupon reward. These are all built within the platform here. And so when I go into one of the mail templates, I can go ahead and actually edit it. Similar to the reviews module, I'm able to update the styling. It's leveraging the global styling, which we actually do in the settings here, which I'll touch on in a bit. But you can override that global styling with other colors, fonts, etc. that you want for this particular email, as well as obviously changing, the header, the body, and the footer of the email. So that's the original sort of primary product, being the reviews, and then the emails that are associated with the review requests. But you now have surveys, quizzes, and referrals that are out in general release. And the value add really there for me is Okendo turning into a zero-party data platform. We're able to really have enriched customer profiles that then feed into our email and SMS marketing solutions. So you can see here with surveys, we're now able to build surveys that can be shown, and click here, post checkout via shareable link, post review, or on site. And so you create a survey, but then that survey can be rendered in various spots. So here we have a new customer survey that was built for this client, and it's being used in the post checkout channel, but I could use this same survey as a shareable link for email and text. I could also use it post review, so I could show this in post review. But the key thing is that it's not going to ask questions to the customer that it's already that they have already answered before, which is a huge problem in the past when using disparate solutions, separate solutions for this. So in this case, we're asking, how did you hear about us, and who is your favorite beauty retailer? There's obviously more questions that we're going to add on to this, but this is just what we started with for this particular brand, Toady. And you can see here that Sofia Vergara's Instagram is actually making up almost 20% of how customers have heard about us. And, we only put this live about 2 days ago. So obviously the data is early on. But start rate and response rate are both pretty high here at above 30%. And we can also see the analytics on it in terms of number of people that started, how many people completed it, and what the overall response rate is. So something that really jumps out to me here is that 93% of people are completing the survey once they begin. And over 30% of customers are even willing to do so as well, which is a very strong amount. So in order to create a new survey, you can start from blank template, or you can choose one of the templates that Okendo has already created for you. But let's say we want to do a blank survey. You can choose whether it's multi-select, single select, a rating, 5-point, MPS, free text, email, or content page. And so you can build out your survey in a variety of different ways. You can randomize the option order. You can include an option which allows custom input, which I almost always recommend when putting out a survey for the first time, because there might be responses that you wouldn't expect. And then when customers answer with the other response, you can then add that in at a later point. Then let's touch on the actual channels. So you have post-checkout surveys, which, as you could probably gather, are shown to the customer immediately after checkout. And this is one of the most valuable pieces of real estate on the website and in the buying experience, as they just completed that order, and then you're able to surface questions to them immediately. So they're already highly engaged. And as you can see, based off the results, 35% of customers answering it, it's a significant amount of customers. You then have the ability to create a shareable link. So this is useful if you are including it in post-purchase email and text follow-ups, and in other areas, whether you maybe want to put a survey out on Instagram, or if you want to include it in maybe a direct mail piece, things like that. You also have the ability to show it post-review. So post-review is right after somebody has left that 5-star review, show them survey questions. So again, it's in that same vein of continuing to build out the customer profile and enrich it with more customer data. And then the last is on-site. So this is more useful if you're asking for CRO-specific questions where, how's your shopping experience thus far? Is there anything about the website that we can improve? Things of that nature. And the last thing in surveys is question styling. So you can choose the font family, the text color, button color, and all of that. Hide the Okendo branding. And you can view what that looks like for every single type of question that's offered in the platform. So that's surveys. Now we're going to touch on quizzes. So quizzes is one of their newer releases, and is a huge value add, because the way that I look at zero-party data collection is in 3 main areas. You have your first touch point that a potential customer could see, which is a quiz on site. Then you have your second touch point, which would be that post-purchase survey that's rendered right after checkout. And then you have your third touch point, which is during the review request process. Historically, those 3 areas were owned by different solution providers. So you'd leverage a tool for quizzes, you leverage a platform for surveys, and you leverage Okendo for reviews, but there was no data sharing between those products. And so you can end up asking a customer the same question in the quiz, the post-purchase survey, and in the review request process, have them answer it all 3 times, and then you end up with a messy customer profile, but also missed out on the opportunity to further enhance that customer's profile because you were asking a question that they had already answered previously. So this addresses that pain point. So go ahead and click Get Started. And you essentially are just able to configure the questions that you want to be able to ask in your quiz. So click on here, new quiz question. You can randomize the option order, displays a drop-down, include an option which allows custom input, and you can choose if it's single select, multi-select, and so on. So let's say, what's your skin type? And then you just add in your options. We'll say dry, oily, etc. So let's go ahead and apply that. And then please allow extra Shopify permissions to subscribe responders to marketing emails. So what we'll do here is open this up, provide those extra permissions. And now, when I refresh this, we will be able to actually capture email address and verify with marketing consent so that we can email them with news and offers later on as well. Then within settings, you have the ability to show other recommended products. But what my preference is to do is to choose products for a fallback. So we can add products to this. And in the case of this particular brand, they don't have a ton of products. So we can be a little bit more straightforward with it. Add the CC cream. Let's just say, maybe that's just the only fallback option. And then we will trigger this when, new quiz question is equal to option 1. We're going to show a different product. And you can show multiple products as well here. You don't need to, just show one. And we would apply that. And then that way, when let's say we have like 5 quiz questions, we can build out different logics here. And then based off of the responses that the customer has answered, it will show the product recommendations based off of those responses. Again, you can configure the styling, and then you can actually go ahead and test it within here. And then we can save it and add it to the website. Then to actually get it on the website, you're going to click Install, show install instructions, and you just add this value to your Shopify 2.0 theme, or you can embed the quiz in the actual theme itself, like within a page. So very straightforward, and then you're off and running with your own quiz. Last but not least is referrals. And loyalty is coming as well relatively shortly, but that's currently an early adopter. But right now, referrals are actually live. And I want to showcase a couple of examples of that. But actually, before I do, here is a real live quiz that is running on Okendo. And so I can run through this quickly here. When it comes to nutrition, how much you rate your knowledge? I'm going to say I'm a 4. Are you following any particular diet? No. What are you looking for? Let's say supplements. Let's say stress and energy. I don't know. We'll say not having time for a proper meal. I've not tried the products before. Okay, I'm going to enter my email. Now I just submitted it. So in their database, they just got my email, but they also got all those attributes that I just answered the questions towards that are now being saved against my customer profile. So they can use that for segmentation later on based off of what I responded to. I said stress and energy, so maybe they send me targeted content around stress and energy, things like that. And here you're seeing the recommendations. You can add each one to cart, or you can add all of them to cart. But on the referral program, it's relatively straightforward. It's similar to most referral programs that you've seen in the past, but again, one of the benefits here is that it's all aggregated into one platform. So I can enter my email here. And then I'm able to invite my friend by email, or I can just share with them my unique referral link. And then when I refer a friend, they'll get 20% off their purchase, and I'll get 20% off my next order. And then here with this company, it's $10 off in both directions. And then in this one, $20 off. So you can choose how you want to configure it in your referral settings here. So in rewards, I can choose between a dollar amount and percentage. I can choose a minimum purchase. I can choose when it expires by, and then I can choose if it applies to certain collections or not. And what I typically like to do is do some sort of dollar amount, but do a minimum purchase. I've found that dollar amounts typically mean more to the customer. It's almost as if they have like a store credit that has to be redeemed versus not. And then just like, the rest of the product that we've been running through here today, you're able to change all the styling of this, remove the Okendo badging, and make it look more on brand for your company. And then installation is pretty straightforward as well too. You just follow the help article docs to be able to do that. So we've gone through reviews, the customer profiles, how to set up mail, surveys, quizzes, and referrals. Let's now touch on insights. So here in insights, you can see reports, and we're able to generate mail reports, ratings reports, review reports, sentiment reports, and coupon reports. And in this case, I'm actually just going to do, a reviews report. You can do it by product or by attribute, and by day or by week. Let's say the last 30 days. Let's not do any filters. Let's generate the report. And here you can see the distribution over time. So there's a bunch of different reports that you can run within here natively to be able to pull out insights around, customer sentiment, product performance, and things like that. And then the last thing is settings. So, you have your user information, your billing, and your plan, all pretty straightforward. But you also have notification settings. So you can receive emails from Okendo with a breakdown of the reviews and what you've gotten so far. You are able to set up a custom domain for your review request emails as well. So as opposed to sending from Okendo.io, you can send it from your actual email address. You're able to set up the overall brand styling here, your block list, and then any custom domains that you want to add. Then this is where you also set up all your integrations. So if you have the loyalty program, if you have a help desk, in this case we have Gorgeous. So by integrating with Gorgeous, all the Okendo data passes over into the Gorgeous customer profile as well. Email and SMS, sales and marketing. Do you want to showcase your reviews on Google Shopping, on the Shop app, and then an integration with Pagefly as well. Then in publishing, this is where you can set up if you want to have auto publishing, which means you don't even have to review or moderate the reviews. They can just auto publish. And in this case, we said, if they're 4 stars or higher, you can publish, but blocking reviews of profanity with media or of negative sentiment, and then using the default Okendo profanity list. So those will be blocked, and we'll have to review those on a case-by-case basis. You can also import and export customer profiles, questions and answers, and reviews. Reviews are the only things that you can import at this time, but questions and answers and customer profiles you can export. And then you have some widget styling options, and then also the ability to syndicate reviews across multiple stores. But that is a custom setup done by the Okendo team. So overall, Okendo really is our preferred product for zero-party data aggregation. It allows us to continue to enhance the customer profile and enrich it with additional data. And again, to walk you through that user flow, it goes, quiz, then after purchase, the post-purchase survey, then after the post-purchase survey, you hit them with a review request, then after the review request, you ask them to refer a friend. So it really is a logical flow in the customer journey and makes a ton of sense the way that they've expanded upon the product after originally launching with just reviews. So overall, very big proponent of Okendo, and have loved the direction that they've taken the product, and has enabled us to really get a lot more granular with our segmentation of customers and being able to help them along the buying journey or the buyer's journey process, but also in getting them to come back and reorder and customizing the experience to them. So very happy with the direction of the product and really excited for the release of the loyalty solution as well in the next couple of months here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. As always, you can find me at brandonamoroso.com or just on LinkedIn at Brandon Amoroso.